David Avanesyan retains his European Welterweight title after defeating Josh Kelly by 6th round TKO. You know, I feel as though Josh Kelly is receiving a lot of unfair criticism after his defeat. A lot of pundits were talking after the fight as if Kelly had quit, which he obviously didn't. His corner threw in the towel. Analysing the fight itself, it was clear to see that Kelly had a massive speed advantage over Avanesyan. Kelly completely dominated the early rounds and even rocked Avanesyan in the second round. Avanesyan did start to get frustrated after he recovered from being rocked. It was also in the second round where Kelly got cut on the back of the head by an unintentional elbow from Avanesyan. The cut was definitely one of the stories of the fight, that's for sure. Did it affect Kelly in any way? Eddie Hearn mentioned that when he spoke to Kelly after the fight, he mentioned that the loss of blood from the cut made him feel weak, and I believe the cut could well have caused Kelly to lose energy. When losing that much blood, you're going to lose energy because your body needs blood to sufficiently transfer oxygen around itself. Therefore, the loss of blood from the cut could well have caused Kelly to tire earlier than he maybe would have. But Avanesyan started to step on the gas in the 4th round. I think the cut to Kelly and the amount of blood that was pouring out the back of his head definitely would have spurred Avanesyan on to possibly dig deeper and put more pressure on Kelly, as he was in a tough position under pressure with all the blood pouring down himself. You know, Kelly would be feeling the pressure at that point. He'd be asking questions about himself. He'd be possibly worried about whether he's got a bad injury, which it looks like it wasn't. But, you know, when you're in there, like Kelly was, under pressure, you don't know. It was noticeable that Kelly started to slow down around the 4th round, and this combined with the extra pressure from Avanesyan completely changed the momentum of the fight. Avanesyan was landing some really impressive body shots in the 5th round. He also targeted the cut at the back of Kelly's head so that the Vaseline applied by Kelly's corner could not contain the blood flowing down Kelly's neck and back. Avanesyan and Kelly both exchanged some really powerful shots at the end of the 5th round. Going into the 6th round, which ended up being the final round, Avanesyan started to land a lot of good shots as Kelly's own shots became somewhat ineffective and seemed to just bounce off of Avanesyan's chin. I noticed that Kelly made one crucial mistake around the beginning of the 6th round. Instead of boxing on the back foot, utilising his physical advantages like he was earlier in the fight, he decided to go on the front foot and walk Avanesyan down, which almost instantly backfired, as Avanesyan landed some massive shots to Kelly's open defence, leading to Kelly touching the canvas. Kelly didn't fully go down, only his gloves touched the canvas, but it was clear that he was hurt. And I mean, with all the other variables that were happening in the earlier rounds of the fight, like the cut, you know, you could see that Kelly was in big trouble at this point. And Kelly got up, the fight continued, and Kelly just stood there at the opposite side of the ring with his guard up, waiting for Avanesyan to pounce, which Avanesyan did, and Kelly ended up taking some more big shots and then got caught with an equilibrium shot to the temple, leaving him with basically no control of his legs. And as soon as Adam Booth saw that Kelly's legs had gone, he threw in the towel to save Kelly, which, you know, he should have, and Avanesyan retained his title. After the fight had finished, I believe Avanesyan was shouting from the ring to Conor Benn in the gantry, calling him out, and I think that would be a great fight if Ben gets past Samuel Vargas, that is, which itself is a tough test. And I think Avanesyan versus Ben would be a good next step for both men, unless obviously Avanesyan can get a world title shot, but I doubt he'll get a world title shot, to be honest. For Kelly, I think he can definitely come back. It seems to me that whenever a fighter loses, the majority of boxing fans write them off. One loss doesn't define a fighter. How they come back from that defeat, that's what counts. I mean, all you have to do is look at Mauricio Lara, who just KO'd Josh Warrington. I believe he lost a couple of fights very early on in his career, but he didn't give up, and now he's reaping the rewards for chasing his dream and not listening to the people that told him he couldn't do it. So what next for Kelly in terms of opponents? I think Kelly should have a good rest, eat some good food. He's going to need to help his body replenish and repair after losing all that blood. But when he's ready, I think a fight against Florian Marku could make sense. Marku defeated Ryland Charlton on the undercard and looked impressive, boxing on the back foot very well, showing a different dimension to his game. I think Kelly could definitely beat Marku, and it would be an entertaining build-up to the fight, maybe with some heated press conferences, and also the fight itself would be massive in Newcastle if fans were to return anytime soon. So let me know your thoughts on the fight and what you believe Josh Kelly should do next in the comment section. Leave a like on the video if you did enjoy, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and remember to turn on post notifications to stay notified whenever I upload a new video.